You can actually connect this to.
Hey guys, pleasure to meet y'all.
Okay, we're live, guys. We're rocking and rolling.
Wonderful. So I'm sorry. So tell me, we were talking about RedX and the data and all that. And what were you saying?
Yeah, so the data that I'm typically calling is I'm calling more of the wholesalers list, right? The list of
Okay.
a lot of the wholesalers, and I just seem to find a lot of success usually in those lists. And it's just basic list, high equity, out of state owners, vacant properties, things like that is more of what I like. And then I typically, just because I'm not just a listing agent, I'm also buying a lot of properties. I have a big list of investors that work with me. So they like multifamily, they like commercial. So I kind of call a variety of a list usually. It's not necessarily just single family or expired or FISBO,
Right.
things of that sort. But we mix it up at times with the team. We do have also ISAs and callers and things like that, or they're doing stuff for us. But myself personally, I like some commercial stuff. I like some multifamily, high equity, out of state. If you're out of state, it's out of mind, and it's a little easier to take over a property that somebody doesn't have to deal with tenants and toilets and all that good stuff, right? So I kind of try to do that whole number. I found success with that, and been able to list some properties, help some investors out, do things like that. So it's a little bit different of the typical list, but at the end of the day, it's the same thing. It's all the same.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, right?
Your script changes, but it's the same stuff. Call, build rapport, figure out how you can help them, and then fill that niche. No, I totally get it.
You have to call them 10 times sometimes, right? You have to call them 10 times. You have to have 10 conversations with them before you even get to that next point where you're actually going to meet them or whatever it may be. So I like the older generation. They seem to want to talk to me more. Obviously, they want to have a conversation. They're interested. They're pretty smart usually, and you have a good conversation. It's not just a wham bam type of conversation, or they want to hang up on you or whatever it may be. They actually want to give you some feedback, and they want to give you some knowledge as well. So I like that. So I'm not against that at all.
Yeah,
I love it. Well, you can hit them a bunch of different angles too. Hey, we want to list. You want to sell? Have you ever thought about selling? Would you accept a cash off? Like, you can just hit them so many different angles. I love that.
Yeah.
Smart.
And then you flip it, right?
Smart.
If they don't want a cash offer or whatever, maybe you flip it. Be like, okay, well, let me show you what the retail market is doing and how we can do that. And something seems to work out usually. So that's kind of the type of stuff that we like doing on our end. But you guys are beasts. You guys been doing this for a long time consistently, right? That's the whole issue with most of us. That's
the key.
Is the issue, right?
That's the issue with us too. So I mean,
doesn't look like it.
Well, I'm going to tell you. I'll be honest with you. So Kent had this great idea. Hey, you're prospecting all the time. I'm prospecting all the time. We say, let me do that in air quotes, all the time. And how do we do it more all the time? In other words, how do we become more consistent in what we do? And so Kent said, man, let's get on a Zoom call and just prospect together. You call whoever you're calling, I'll call whoever I'm calling. And in between calls, we'll talk about scripts. We'll talk about, whatever, life, and we'll do it together. That way we can have accountability. We can just work hard and just get more. And ultimately, it's worked out wonderfully. So I've had a great time doing this. It really does help with accountability. It really helps keep us both more consistent so that we can become beasts on the phone, because that's the goal.
Yeah. Well, I think more than that, we become, again, we have that accountability factor, but we also have fun. It's not one of those things you wake up and you're like, oh no, I'm really fretting coming in today.
Right.
You go in, we can have fun with it. And you're going to see that with Matt and I. We dick around probably a little more than we probably should. So
you know what the big thing about it? You guys are just mentioning some of it, but we're talking about being beasts, right? And all of us want to be a beast. We want to be that next level caller. We want to be able to close the deal on the phone, and and it doesn't really always work that way. Number one, right? And then number two, I've always told everybody, like, I'm not a crazy hardcore necessarily closer that's really aggressive. I'm a little more passive, So if I'm able to actually get deals done over the phone and get listing, do things like that, then I think anybody is. You don't really have to be a beast. You really have to be a beast at being consistent and
Right.
making the
Yep.
is what it is, right?
Yeah. No, we've talked about this multiple times. I would rather have someone that is consistent over good, because with consistency, you get better. And I mean, there's days, I know Kent can attest to this too. There's days I come in, I feel like a lion on the phone. I'm ready to go. There's other days I come in, I feel like a kitten. I'm like, oh my God, everything's wrong. I'm timid. My scripts aren't coming off right. I sound like an idiot. I mean, that happens. I mean, it's just flipping and flopping. So you're right. When I say beast, I think you hit the nail on the head. It is the beast part of it is you're a beast of consistency, not a beast in how you push. And because I'm a relationships guy, I am not a push until you say yes to me kind of guy. I'm just not. I tried that, and that's just not who I am. So
even hiring, we have I don't know if you guys knew, but we have a call center in Tijuana, in Mexico, right?
uh-huh.
and we're hiring ISAs and callers out there and stuff like that. And Roberto's doing a lot of the interviews and things like that. And we talk about these people after they interview them. And I'm like, and we always go back to the same thing. We don't need a beast. We don't need the best. We don't even need the best 100% English. As long as they're 60, 70, 80% good on their English skills,
Yep.
and they're reliable, loyal, and consistent, they're in. Everything else can be worked out. Everything else can happen with some time. And we talk about it all the time. I'm like, that's what we need. We don't need this kid that came in and he looks like a beast. He sounds like a beast. He looks like he's going to be the best. And then he all of a sudden falls off the planet and doesn't show up tomorrow.
Right.
It's about showing up. It's about getting it done for sure.
I was watching a video with a guy that runs an ISA company actually. And, he said we were doing disc profiles and we were doing all these metrics to try to determine who is going to be our ISAs. And we were going through that. We did it for years. And ultimately, at the end of the day, we just completely got rid of all of that and really just reverted back to interviewing these people and trying to determine, A, are they coachable? And B, do they have the work ethic necessary? Because being on the phone all day, that's not friggin' easy, man. That is tough. That's hard. Being told no, hung up on time, sometimes cussed at, that's not an easy thing to do for hours and hours and hours. And it takes someone with some work ethic and some dedication to do it. And so ultimately, and he reiterated this, we've been doing this for years and years and years. And what we found was that all of that stuff is just that, it's stuff. Sometimes it's right, but a lot of times it's not. And what you need to do is really interview whoever your ISA is going to be and make the determination of, do they have the work ethic and are they coachable? So,
and I'm the first to tell you guys that I'm 100% traumatized of the phones, because when I started, I was handed a phone book. You can tell how old I am. I was handed a yellow with some yellow pages and some white pages in there, and I was told dial, right? And I was doing this on this type of phone, this number, and I did that for 18 months unsuccessfully.
Really?
18 months, yes. So I'm the first to tell you that I'm 100% traumatized with the actual phones. But then, I did switch my environment a little bit. I got with people that are a little more upbeat, guys wearing suits and aggressive on the phones. As far as aggressive, I mean like consistent and walking around and doing things. And my environment changed, my attitude changed, everything started to change. Even my conversation started to change with people, and deals started to happen. So that's one of the important things. That's why I like what you guys are doing. You guys said, hey, we need to be consistent. We're got to do this thing together. And it really does help change like your whole mindset. Even it changes your tone on the phone. Why don't you guys, I know some of the people on Real Closers, they might not be 100% familiar with you guys. Can you guys, we know a little bit about you guys, but can you guys tell them who you guys are and what you've been doing and so they can get to know you a bit?
Sure. Kent, you want to go ahead?
For sure. I think, Matt, how did you and I meet? So I'll just give you an introduction. I think you and I met on the phones. I actually sold Matt Red-X, if I'm not mistaken. Am I completely off on that?
I think that's true. I remember I did talk to you with Red-X, and I got a video intro into Red-X, and it was Kent doing the video. And I was like, I know that dude. So yeah, so
Matt and I,
yeah.
Matt and I have sparked up a good relationship. He sold some homes for me in Houston for a few friends. If you ever need to refer somebody to Houston, Matt will close them and get them. I sent a person to him whose mother-in-law is a realtor in Houston, and Matt sends me a commission check, and I'm like, how did you get that person? Anyways, so crazy. But so I'm Kent Brown. I'm in the Salt Lake market. I actually worked for Red X for about 5 years selling their product. And my story is a little bit of a funny one because I just walked in off the street. I was making $9 an hour as a CNA. My wife was making 15. And when you're 20 some years old, you're thinking, man, $24 an hour, we've got it made. We're doing great in life. Then my wife got pregnant, had the baby, and said, I'm not working anymore. And you realize really quick, $9 an hour does not support a family. So I actually lived in a condo by Red X, drove by it one day, was like, I like the look of that building, looked it up, saw that they were hiring for sales. I didn't have a college education, but they required it. So I said, well, I'll just go in and talk to the sales manager. I did. He said, where are you from? Idaho. And he's like, well, we'll hire you then. And he took a chance on me because I was an Idaho farm boy. And I mean, just after helping all of these real estate agents for so long, I said, hey, I'm going to throw my hat in the arena, and made great relationships and like Matt. And here I am. And it gave me that skill and that habit of being on the phones for 8 hours a day, talking to people. And the average consumer is smarter than the average realtor, I'd say. So I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
But not really.
So that's me in a nutshell.
Well, potato farmer or what is it?
Yeah, potatoes, onions, sugar beets.
Nice.
All of it.
Very cool. Very cool.
And my name's Matt Parker. I'm in Houston, Texas. And before I got into real estate, I was in pharmaceutical sales for about 15 years. I was a sales rep and actually did a little sales training in pharmaceuticals. And so that was fun. And then I decided after 15 years, I had enough of that. And so I had a good friend of mine here in the Houston area that was in real estate and had encouraged me for years to get into real estate. So I said, well, I'm going to give it a try. And so I've been in real estate for almost 7 years now. I didn't know any better when I came into real estate. I was listening to a podcast, a real estate podcast, and they talked like almost daily about you got to be on the phone, you got to call FSBOs, you got to call expired. So in my mind, with my very limited knowledge, my thinking was that was the only way to get business in real estate. So I got into real estate and called FSBOs and expires. In the first 3 years, that's literally all I did. So FSBOs and expires. And I mean, that's great right now business, but that is as a single agent with no assistant. That's a hard business model when it's nothing but expires and FSBOs. So,
well, Matt, tell them how many you listed, expires and FSBOs. This will blow your mind.
So in 2019, and that was my claim to fame because it almost gave me a heart attack. In 2019, I went on 88 listing appointments, expired listing appointments. I think maybe 2 were FSBOs.
Wow.
So I went on 88 expired listing appointments and took 56 of them.
Woo. Wow, it's a ratio right there, baby.
Oh, and it was. I didn't know it. I'll be honest with you. I didn't know it until my NCA called me and said, hey, we're doing the awards for the coming year, and this is the data that I have for you. And he shared it with me, and I went, there's no way that's right. And so then I went and looked back at my data, and I went, holy crap, that's right. I went on 88 listing appointments. I didn't have an assistant. I didn't have anything. It was just me calling on the phone all day and then going on appointments. And that is hustle, but I don't know that I want to continue to hustle like that. That's a tough way to do it. That's a tough way to do it, man. So I like the cold calling and the circle prospecting. I still call FSBOs and expireds, but not to that extent. So
that was tough.
It was, man. It was tough.
You weren't home ever.
No, I was gone all the time, all the time. Well, it's like your deal with calling manually on the phone, hand dialing. It gave you a respect for what you were doing, and because you had it so tough, it made the things you did after a lot easier. So you have a year like 2019 where it's nothing but hustle. 2020 is like, that's no big deal. We can handle this. So it just
2022 we can handle.
yeah, it just puts things into perspective for you. It really does. So
yeah. One of the things I always a lot of people don't realize, and you guys know this after a while, you worked super hard for that year, right? You went all these listing appointments, you built all these relationships, and you planted all those seeds. And I always tell all the new real estate agents that talk to me, call me, or work with me, I'm like, just be planting seeds, one more seed every day, one more seed every day. Because my little quick story is I made no money for 18 months, right? Because I was doing this. And then I also started towards the end, starting to do this on the same neighborhoods that I was calling, things of that sort. I finally landed a deal, $5,000 check, closed my first transaction, woohoo, party, split half of it with the broker, was left with a couple $1,000s. But the next 12 months was $750,000 in the 1099 I got.
That's awesome.
$750,000. So I planted one more seed every single day. I made those calls. I door knocked, and then boom, same thing that you guys are doing every single day on the phone, being consistent and planting those seeds. And that's what a lot of the agents don't realize. They don't understand that even though you might have not gotten a deal that day on the phone or door knocking, whatever it may be, you built a relationship, and that relationship equals 10 relationships, right? Because I call it the Godfather effect, because every person that you connect with, that you build a relationship with, connects you with 10 other people, 5 other people, whatever it may be. And you just start to create the Godfather effect, where now it's not 100 people 88 people that you went on listing appointments with. It's, 300 people that you actually build relationships with, because everybody's going to talk good about you, Matt. Oh yeah, call Matt. He was great. He came over. It didn't work out for us, but he's a really nice guy. We like him. He's the sharp guy, clean cut, all these different things. Call Matt. So, and it's just going on those 88 appointments turned into hundreds and hundreds of clients for you. And most agents don't realize that that's really what it takes, especially in the beginning. Agents are still doing 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 transactions a year. You wonder why.
Yeah.
You're not working every day. You're not planting those seeds every single day. Plant them. You're going to harvest sooner or later, whether it's 2020, 2019, 2024,
Well, Kent is real big about this, and I've kind of learned this from him, and that is, hey, don't beat yourself up if you're not getting what you want every day. Look at the small successes, as you were talking about. And so, Kent's like, hey, I'm going to get my contacts today, and if I didn't set an appointment, oh well, I've got tomorrow. And that does help you change your perspective, right? Because it's very easy, specifically when you're calling expireds, right? Because you're always told that's right now business. Well, there's a lot of days that it's not. So you're calling and you got other things you got to do. You got to get through your prospecting, and you didn't set an appointment that day. And sometimes that's a little frustrating. But you did get right. But you got what you did get was 3 good contacts. Then you get to follow up with those contacts. And then hopefully grow business out of those. I mean, I've got a property right now under contract. It was an expired. They needed a lot of work on their house. They tried all kinds of stuff. Had it under contract 4 different times. We've got it under contract for the 5th time. Hopefully this time we're going to sell it. So that's just the nature of the beast. But I'm blessed to have that listing. So
I want to hear you guys. All
right. Well, we keep talking about
FSBOs.
That's the slog. I'm doing just listed. So.
Well, I think one of my favorite quotes of all time is, let me pull it up. I don't want to butcher this, so I'm going to pull it up, but it is one of my favorite quotes. And then we'll prospect. Yeah,
for sure.
But I am fully on board with Matt that you just have to do it consistently every day. Plant those seeds, kind of like what you said. So, and this goes along with this quote. So if you do the activity, you are either going to get the result you are trying to create, or you are going to get a lesson required in getting the result. Therefore, you can't lose.
Yeah. It's awesome, man. That's right on point, right?
100% agree, my friend.
Love it.
All right, let's do this, Brutus.
Yeah, and for
Do
those,
it.
so just a quick reminder for those in the Real Closers group, we're doing this so that you can do it with us too, right? If you need that motivation to make some calls today, we're gonna do this every Friday. So join us. Let's make some calls together. Let's close some deals in 2023.
Yeah, I needed the motivation of that little group, the little the new environment that I put myself into. So a lot of agents are doing their vision boards and all this other cool stuff, right? I love it. I do that as well. But let's take some action. It's like it's time. Today's a day. It's not next year, the first week, whatever it may be. Just start doing it, and it's as easy as just jumping on the phone. That's why Kent and Matt do it so eloquently and so simply that you can see that it's just really putting on your headset and smashing the phone and smashing that list. You don't need too many crazy tools or anything. You just need to actually do it. And I like the fact that you're going to hear Kent, you're going to hear Matt, and then maybe later you can hear me a little bit as well. And then you can make your own spiel if you're not 100% confident on your exact script, on your exact way of talking to people on the phone. That's important. I took a little bit from 5 different people that I was in the same office with, and created my own script technically, and made it and owned it. Right. So that's kind of what we're doing here. So let's make it happen.
Let's do it. Yeah, I'm with you there. That I'm gonna take this off actually. All about consistency. And it is funny, Matt and I talk about this all the time, and I always bring it up to Matt. And it's just funny how the universe rewards you when you just do the activity. It could be it could just be an ant coming out of the woodwork all of a sudden saying, hey, I want to sell my house. Hey, I want to buy a house. Hey, I want to do this. Just because you did the activity.
Hi, good morning, Brian. My name is Matt. I'm with Keller Williams Realty, and we have your neighbor, Kim Thomas. Her property is on the market. We just listed it for sale. It's a beautiful 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath here in Texana Plantation. And I just wanted to touch base and let you know that property was for sale in case you had someone who may be interested in moving into the neighborhood. If you do, I would love for you to give me a call. My number is 832-643-8443. Again, it's 832-643-8443. I hope this call finds you well, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a great one. You guys going skiing again this weekend?
Maybe. I don't know. I think we're pretty packed this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Parties.
I'm going to launch an expireds list, something I don't usually do, and I'm going to call guys too. So
I love it. Man, it is about to rain expireds.
what do you, Matt? So you left the voicemails. What we're obviously assuming on the call you just made. Usually, you think it's worth, and I don't know. You think it's worth your time to leave that voicemail? Are people really listening to them, or what's your quick thoughts about that?
Hi, Jerry. This is Matt with Keller Williams Realty. We just listed your neighbor's property, Kim Thomas, here in Texana Plantation. It's a beautiful 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath. And we just wanted to know if you had any folks that may be interested in moving into the neighborhood. If you do, please give me a call. My number is 832-643-8443. Again, 832-643-8443. Talk to you soon. So typically, I heard your question. So typically I would, if I was going to leave voicemails, I would pre-record those voicemails and then do a drop voicemail like that. In this particular neighborhood, because I'm doing just listed, just sold. So I'm listing it now. I want them to know who I am, that I've called them. This is just, in my mind, this is just a rapport building time to see if they have anybody who's interested in moving into the neighborhood. They'll also, my client has friends that live in the neighborhood. They will circle back to my client and let her know that, hey, your agent called me and asked if I knew anybody that was interested in moving in the neighborhood. So that goes a long way with my client. And then on top of that, when we do sell it, I'm going to turn around and call these same people back and go, hey, we just sold this property as we promised our client, Kim Thomas, that we would. And we just wanted to, we know that when one property sells, two more typically sell very quickly thereafter. Is there, when do you plan on moving? And so using that as a focus for just getting another lead, as you say, planting the seed, that's a long-term game. Sometimes they'll say, Matt, we're going to sell it in the first part of next year. I'm glad you called. Right. And then it gives me an opportunity to have a listing appointment with them. So yes, is the voicemail worth my time? It is, but it's a lot more efficient if you drop it versus doing a physical voicemail. And for this, I'm just leaving a physical voicemail each time.
Cool. Sounds good. I like that.
Even though he's going from a dialect, he's using his own number.
Matt's a lot more dedicated than I am. I just dropped it.
You're like dropping them all.
Drop.
Well, actually, I typically do. I just didn't pre-record the one for this neighborhood. So that slows me down a little bit, unfortunately.
So one thing I will do is I'll listen to see if they say their name. And if they say their name, I'll leave a physical voicemail.
Hey, David. Hey, David, my name is Matt. I'm with Keller Williams Realty. And the reason for my call this morning is we just listed your neighbor's home, Kim Thomas. She lives right here in Texana Plantation, and we just listed her home for sale. It's a beautiful 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath, right there on Hinkle's Ferry. And the reason for my call is just to see if you had anybody that you knew that may be interested in moving into the area. Yeah. Okay.
Hello, Nicole.
Are you really? Okay.
Yeah, Nicole, this is Kent with
So you mean to tell
Summit
me
Realty.
that
I was
I'm not
calling
going to be able to
because
get
I
you
have
to
a
let me sell your
client,
house in
Diane
the future?
Church, who's looking to move into the Anderson Farms area, and there's nothing
Probably
for sale
not.
right now
That'd
over
be
there.
pretty
We're
hard
just curious to see
competition.
if you folks have ever thought about selling now or in the near future.
Yeah. Well, you guys, and so you're right here you are in.
I am, yeah,
Plantation,
with Summit Realty.
Okay. Yeah. That's a beautiful neighborhood.
Oh, absolutely. Do you know of anybody that's looking to sell anytime soon?
Well, if I'm going to tell you, if that's the only complaint in the neighborhood you live, that's a blessing to be in that neighborhood.
Hung up.
So, yeah. Uh-huh. Man, you know as well as I do. I think.
Hi, Tammy. This is Kent with Summit Realty. Hope you're doing well today. I was calling because I have a client, Diane Church, that's looking to move into Anderson Farms. Was curious to see if you folks have ever thought about selling your home or may know of anybody in the area that is thinking about selling. If you are, please give me a call back at 801-592-3135. Thanks so much. Have a wonderful day.
Well, I wish you the best. If I come across something, I'll bring it to you. I promise you. All right. Well, David, it was a pleasure speaking with you, my friend. I appreciate your time. All right. Have a great one. Bye.
Hello, Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer. This is Kent with Summit Realty. How are you today? Oh, well, the reason, man, 2 hang-ups in a row.
Change.
Hi, may I speak to Mr. Rose, please? Hey, Mr. Rose, my name is Matt. I'm a real estate agent with Keller Williams Realty, and I'm calling because we just listed one of your neighbor's properties. Her name is Kim Thomas. She lives right there on Hinkle's Ferry, and it's a beautiful 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath. And the reason I'm calling is to see if you know anyone who may be interested in moving into the area. It's 2710 Hinkle's Ferry, right here in Texana Plantation. Ah, okay. Ah, okay. Well, I see. I see. Okay. So, well, it looks like I've gotten the wrong information then. Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this while I've got you on the phone. Do you plan on? Have you given any consideration to moving here in the near future? Ah, okay. All right. Well, I mean, were you? Oh, very nice. Very nice. So y'all are. I see. Yeah. So you guys, where y'all live now, y'all are pretty set. Y'all are staying put for a while, I guess. Oh my gosh. Well, and that sounds like a great property too. So yeah, I would, I wouldn't. Well, I can tell you from a realtor's perspective, you list a property like that, that sells pretty darn quick. As a matter of fact, I just got off the phone with a guy who says, "Well, if you know of a property with some acreage," and I'm like, "Well, I don't have one on the market, but I'll keep looking." And then lo and behold, I call and you've got one. So the problem is you don't want to sell yours. So that's true. Yeah. Right. No, that's well, that's a good point. That's a good point. But now I will say we are starting to see those prices are modulating downward. That's for sure. So we're seeing in our market right now, we're seeing a lot of price drops. We're seeing price reductions. So it's coming down. It's going to normalize, and it is. It's starting to normalize. We're getting back to what 2019 looked like, our actual best year before the craziness of COVID happened, and we're very quickly returning to that kind of market, which was not a bad market to be in at all. Uh huh. You're right. Well, right. Well, I do think yeah. No, I was going to say, I think you are going to see an increase in foreclosures, specifically what we have now, which are very, very few. However, this run really only lasted about a year and a half, right? Whereas in 2008, that lasted for a decade before we finally got a handle on it and went, oh my gosh! And then that's why just hundreds of thousands of people started walking away from their houses all over the country. But in this particular instance, it's a very different circumstance. So I do think you're going to see foreclosures and short sales go up, but I don't think that's going to be the rule like it was in 2008 through 2012. So, because everything was a short sale or a foreclosure then. So, well, hey, Mr. Rose, it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure speaking with you. I do appreciate your time. And would it be okay if I stayed in contact with you in the future, touch base with you about every 6 months or so to see if our team could be of help or service to you or your family? Okay. Yeah. What's a good email for you? Okay. And you said B Rose? I'm sorry. W Rose. Okay. WROSE 0722 at msn.com. Got it. Okay. And then I'm assuming this is your cell phone, correct? Okay. And you know, I have.
Hi, Lita. This is Kent over at Summit Realty. How are you today?
Stepmom. Okay.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. I was calling because I have a client, Diane Church, that's looking to move into Anderson Farms in the 55 and older community. And
well, see, I don't
there's
have
nothing
William
for sale there right now. I was just curious to see
I appreciate
if
you sharing
ever
that with
thought
me.
about selling.
Well, William, I appreciate your time, my friend. And my name is Matt Parker. Again, I'm with Keller Williams Realty. If I can be of help or service to you, give me a call. I will shoot you a quick text with my contact information. So if you have any real estate, give me a holler. All right. Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate your time. It was good talking to you. Bye-bye.
It's thinking about it right now. Well, not a problem. I just wanted to touch base with you. I know this call was a little bit out of the blue, and maybe put a bug in your ear. If you do hear of anybody at church or just in the community that's thinking about it, she's really desperate to find a house in there. So how have you folks lived in Anderson Farms long? Oh, you're in Creekside. Okay. Creekside does. Okay. She told me specifically Anderson Farms. So I said, oh, okay, that makes sense. So Creekside is the 55 and older. I like it. So, no, that's perfect. Well, yeah, or if just somebody, it even just brings it up. We're thinking about moving. We would sure love to hear from you. Do you mind if I text you directly on this phone, just my cell phone number with my business card? Perfect. Okay, I'll send that over right now, Lita. It was a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Bye. Matt, I wish I was as peppy as you.
Barbara? Hey, Barbara. My name is Matt. I'm with Keller Williams Realty. And the reason for my call is we just listed one of your neighbor's properties here in the neighborhood in Texana Plantation, 2710 Hinkles Ferry. Well, it was good to talk to you, Barbara.
Barbara's the worst. She doesn't know what she's missing.
Yeah.
I have no clue.
She's not going to
No clue. How dare she be that rude when you were that nice?
Man, can you believe it?
So how did she just literally hang up, or how was
Oh no, she when she answered, I kind of started going through my spiel, and she went, "Oh, Matt," click. Like, I don't have time for this. Click. That's okay. I'll call her back when it sells, though.
what's more discouraging for you guys usually? Is it something simple like that, or when they give you an earful? Or neither?
Either. If they give me an earful, I'm under the impression like your life is way worse than mine.
Right.
Where you feel like you have to talk to somebody like that calls you.
Right.
And then if they hang up, it's like, okay, next. I think we do it enough that we're just detached from the outcome.
It's funny enough, I've always seen it like an open door. Like they have time to talk to tell me these things. So let me give them a rebuttal. Let me just take it as an objection and keep going. You know.
Right. No, I totally agree. If she had pushed back on me, I would have done the same. But she just went, Matt, click. So
yeah, you can't control that at all.
Yeah, there's no in there, unfortunately. Yeah. That's okay.
Are there
So
specific scripts that you guys follow?
Yeah, I use.
so
Yes.
go ahead.
No, go ahead, Kent.
So I'm very Mike Ferry trained. Matt's turned me over to Bob Leffler, which is who he uses, Fearless Agent scripts. I honestly though, I think it's just finding a script to use it. In my opinion, I think Mike Ferry scripts are the best ones to be trained on because it makes you ask questions that you should be asking. So it gets you in that habit of asking questions. Where Bob's script, I feel like, are a little more to the point. They're extremely effective, but you also have to be doing it for a while to know that, okay, someone responded this way, so I need to respond this way and ask these next questions. Because really, over the phone, you're not looking to handle objections. You're looking to say, oh, okay, I'm going to handle this with logic to make you move along with the conversation. So you need to ask logical questions and then close people with emotion when they answer those questions. That was a really long answer.
I think it was right on the money, though.
Because a lot of agents.
Hi, my name is Matt. I'm a real estate agent here with Keller Williams Realty, and we just listed one of your neighbor's properties for sale, Kim Thomas. She lives at 2710 Hinkles Ferry, and it is a beautiful 4-bedroom, 3.5-bath home that we have for sale in your neighborhood. And I just was wondering who you know that would be interested to move in the area. At this time, nobody? Okay. Well, and I appreciate you taking the time to think about that for a minute. But let me ask you this: do you plan on moving in the near future? Have you given any consideration or thought to moving in the future? Did you really? Oh my gosh! So you're not moving anytime soon. Okay. Well, hey, congratulations to you on your new home. That's wonderful. Now, did you just close that property here in Texana Plantation, or were you moving out? Ah, okay. Okay.
This is how it goes, guys. Every time you talk and then we're prospecting and they answer. And
I see.
Sorry.
Okay.
Part of the show.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Part of the show.
We do a lot of business in Sugar Land, and we help a lot of folks in Sugar Land. Well, hey, let me ask you this. You have been so kind on the phone, and I truly do appreciate that. Would it be okay if I touch base with you about every 6 months or so to see if our team could be of help or service? We send out reminder emails about things specifically if you have new homes or. Oh, okay. All right. So. Oh, okay. So you've got a good realtor that takes good care of you, huh? Good. Well, then you hang on to them because there's a lot of realtors out there, but not all of them are good. That's for sure. And you probably already know that. So, yeah. All right, man. Well, hey, listen, I really do. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. And you have a great day. Okay. All righty. Bye-bye.
You're so nice to agents also, man.
What's that?
You're so nice to agents as well.
Yeah. Well, no, that was a lady who said, look, I'll be honest with you. We have an agent and we love them. And I'm like, what do you say?
I love clients. I love their agents. Can we have a cup of coffee? I don't know.
Well, that's true. That would have been a good response. Yeah.
Yeah. You guys
I always dig data. What do you like about your agent? Because I want to know, hey, I'm always trying to improve, make my customers happy. What is your agent doing to make you so happy?
That's a good one. I like that.
Because then, they might give you something that you're just not implementing or doing, and you're masterminding with the consumer.
Well, we shouldn't say your agent sucks. You just don't know it. You need to meet me.
But if they're happy, I mean, like you said, dime a dozen.
Right.
It's true. Very true.
Because most consumers just think that we all do the same thing. Yeah, you guys are all the same. Sure, I'll give you my email.
What do you think about the mindset a lot of people have about real estate agents and car salesmen? They think we're like right here with each other.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's very specific reasons for that. I think a part of it is the ease of entry into the industry. I mean, it's very easy to get a real estate license.
Low barrier of entry for sure.
Right. That's exactly right. Of course, we want, as soon as you get in, then you want to become like a plumber or electrician and make it a way tougher for everybody else to get in. But you're thankful for the ease of entry when you first get in it. But then after you're in it for a couple of years, you're like, whoa, pump the brakes. There's too many.
Yeah. So how are you guys handling the injections? I heard you a little earlier, Matt, with people. I think somebody said,
Hello, Corinne.
The prices are a lot lower. Or
hey, Corinne, this is Kent over at Summit Realty. How are you today?
Hold on. I'll answer that in a minute.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. Hey, really quick, Corinne, I was calling because I have a client, Diane Church, that's looking to move into the Creekside community, and there is no homes for sale currently. So I was calling to see if you have ever thought about selling or may know of anybody in the community who is thinking about it. You're there for the long run. I love it. Okay. Well, not a problem. I know this call was really out of the blue. So I appreciate you being so kind to a stranger. Would you mind if I text you my information if you do hear of anybody reaching out? I have a buyer. She's cash buyer ready to go. Fully qualified. Wonderful. Corinne, I'll text you right now from my direct cell phone, and it has my business card in there and everything. So if you hear of anybody at church or just in the community, I'd love to hear from you. Wonderful. Perfect. Well, Corinne, thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking my call. Have a wonderful day. Bye.
So to answer your question, you were talking about price. He was saying, listen, I've moved out of this particular neighborhood and I've got 3 acres with a beautiful house on it. He said, man, I'm not selling anytime soon. He said, besides, if I sold, what would I buy? Prices are through the roof. And I was like, well, no, the prices they've regulated and they're coming back down a little bit. And so we're getting back to a normal market. Whereas before we'd just been in a hyper elevated market. And that's what you're talking about, but we're a much more normal market than we were in the past. So I was specifically talking about buying. I would not say that way to a seller who was thinking about selling, but he told me right up front, there ain't no way I'm selling this house. I love this house. So let's talk about the context of buying. That's a different story.
Man, calling 55 and older communities, challenging.
Oh, really? I would think everybody
there. Those people are there for the long term.
I would think everybody wants you to come over and, hey, let's go eat at movies and talk about it.
Yeah.
That's right. That is long term.
What I need to do is I need to go door knock this community, and whoever doesn't answer, they're probably dead, I would assume. And then I need to go and target those, find their family members. But what I'll do, I've talked to a lot of really nice people, so I'm going to go by there today, drop off business cards with the people I've spoken with. Just say, hey, I recognize that I'm only a voice over the phone, so I wanted to put a face to that voice. Really nice meeting you today.
Hi, Mr. Martin. Hey, Mr. Martin, my name is Matt. I'm a real estate agent with Keller Williams Realty, and I'm calling because one of your neighbors here in Texana Plantation, we just listed her house for sale, Kim Thomas. She has a beautiful property at 2710 Hinkles Ferry. It's a gorgeous 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath. And the reason for my call is I was just wondering if you know of anyone who is thinking about or would like to move into the area. Well, I'm calling to see if you knew anyone that was thinking about moving. Well, sir, the reason I'm calling you is because we told our client, I told my client that we would call into the neighborhood and see if anybody had any friends or family that was thinking of moving into Texana Plantation. Okay. So we did a reverse search on all the properties in Texana Plantation to try to find the number of anybody that lived in Texana Plantation, and it came up with your number. Are you saying you no longer live there, or you never did? Yes, sir.
He's giving Matt the business.
He's like, what's going on here? Give me the details.
Why are you calling me?
Okay. Well, okay. All right. Well, I appreciate your time. It doesn't sound like you're interested. So I thank you for your time, and you have a great day. Boy, that guy hadn't had his coffee this morning, I'm going to tell you.
You should have said, you must be one of those California transplants.
That's right. Well, I'm a developer, man. There's much better ways to do this. Are you from California?
Not about Californians. Come on now.
No, we love
you guys are, y'all don't come in here and splash in the pot in Texas. These Californians come over and go, holy crap, we can buy this house for literally 1/3 what we sold our other one for. Let's purchase it in cash. Prices go up. So I'm not going to say
just for 1/3 and be unhappy.
What's that? Say it again.
I said we can purchase for 1/3 and be unhappy with the weather.
That's true, because I tell you, you guys, y'all cornered the market in weather. Holy crap, y'all! In summertime, there's a lot of Californians living here now that have a very rude awakening come August here in this part of Texas, because it's
about 70 degrees outside right now. Nice and easy. Sun is shining.
Yeah, you can't beat that with a stick. That's for sure.
I was talking to Nate, my brother-in-law, who just moved to Houston, and he said, Houston summers are like Utah winters. You don't go outside.
No, no, that's a fact. Unless you go out like really early in the morning, real late in the evening, but even still, you're going to sweat like crazy.
I went there in October. The one time I went there in October, and I said, I will never come back here again. It's too hot.
Except for what there, Kent, are you coming back for?
Yeah. Okay, so Matt and I have this little thing going on where we're going to shoot pigs out of a helicopter in Houston, but we have to do a certain amount of deals.
That's right.
Crazy.
We've already found it. You can actually use a machine gun, fly over ranches, and kill pigs.
Hey, Maria, how are you? Good. This is David with House there. Just calling because I know you had your property listed right there in Pacoima earlier this year, and it looks like it didn't sell. Was there a reason you think that it didn't sell? Was it price, condition? The market wasn't motivated. Okay. And what do you think the property can possibly sell for today? I know you had it listed earlier last year. That's where your thoughts are. Okay. And what do you think what are you looking for it? I have a ton of buyers in your specific community there that are actively looking and would be more than willing to take a quick peek at it, maybe write you an offer, maybe even a cash offer. Are you a little more motivated than you were a year ago, maybe? Okay, for sure. I was just talking to an agent in Texas. It's funny. Okay. Yeah, you know, why don't I do this? Are you okay? Yeah. Are you okay if I just take a quick drive a little later today, maybe about 2 p.m.? Just take a quick look at your house and maybe just have a quick conversation. Maybe you like Starbucks? What do you like? Cold or hot? I'll just take you a coffee and we can walk your property real quick and just see what possibility is. No commitment. Cool. Okay. All right. Awesome. Okay, cool. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you real soon, okay? Okay, see you too. Bye-bye. Boom.
Hello, sir. My name is Matt. I'm a
David.
agent
Yeah.
in Realty, and I was calling because one of your neighbors, Kim Thomas, just recently listed her house for sale, and it's a beautiful 4-bedroom, 3.5
One
bath
is about an hour away.
plantation. And I was calling to see
Everywhere's
if
an
you
hour
knew of
away in
anyone that was
California.
thinking about moving
Up
into
an hour
the
away.
area. Do you really? Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Are you at Sandy Point, 2411 Sandy Point Drive? Oh, okay. All right. And did y'all just recently list that property? Okay, wonderful. Well, I wish you the very best of luck, sir, and I appreciate your time. Uh-huh.
Did you pay attention, Ken, if she said hot or cold coffee?
I couldn't hear the other end.
I said hot or cold, and then I responded with the right coffee, and I don't remember. I'll just take her one of each.
Well, I like that. Do you typically, is that something I've never done that?
No, I just did on the fly. I'm not really, I've done a lot of Mike Ferry.
Yeah.
Because I have partners that were like gun ho Mike Ferry, right? And
right.
And I just listened to other people do their own thing, and I just talked to them really, and she was like, they didn't sell last year, but I want to go to Texas. So she's I'm going to Texas. I didn't ask her what part, but she was like, yeah, I'm leaving to Texas. I got family out there. I'm like, okay, I got an agent for you.
Yeah. Well, hey, that's awesome. I mean, there's something when you do it so much and for so long, you don't, a lot of time, I wouldn't say you don't need a script, but you just kind of go, I know which way I want to take this conversation. And so it seemed pretty natural. So I'm impressed that you went, hey, you want a coffee? I'll bring you one. So I like that.
Yeah. I think if I would have started using some of the Mike Ferry questionnaires, as I call them, I think she would have hung up on me because I would have sounded a little robotic maybe.
Right.
And she was really upbeat and cool. So I just wanted to follow her mood. So that's one of the reasons I didn't even ask any questions really or do too much of it or poke into it, because she right away like allowed me in. So I'm like, all right, well, I'll go shake her hand, take
right.
her.
Well, I do all the pomp and circumstances when she's saying, yeah, come on in.
Yeah, she already said she wants to leave Texas. Now she's motivated.
So motivate with like, hey, I'm moving to Texas. You're like, okay, so you're motivated.
So here's the great thing about that. You can say, listen, we can sell your house at a discount here, and you can still buy cash in Texas. So let's do this.
No, that's a fact.
It looks like her house is actually paid off from what I'm pulling up on PropStream. And she's been there for 30 years. So,
well, guys, in about 5 minutes, I'm going to have to hop off. Today is my daughter gets out of school early today.
Awesome.
So I've got to run and go pick her up. And so that's one of the things I love about this kind of job, this career, is that I can stop at 11 o'clock and go pick my daughter up. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, so I'm about to do that in about 5 minutes. So I just want to let y'all know.
Cool. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it today.
Hey, thank you guys. I appreciate the opportunity to be here with y'all and learn from you guys and get to hang out with Kent because I get to do that. And so that's fun.
You guys forced me to drive an hour to Pacoima to visit this lady. I wasn't even trying to work today.
Oh, there you go.
Call her back and say,
you go, boom, worth it, worth the coffee, worth the drive.
Call her back and say, on second thought, there is a commitment if I'm going to come out there. And your coffee's going to be cold either way because I'm an hour away.
She didn't even ask me. She sounded like she knew me. I don't even run any marketing ads or anything in her area, but okay.
Very nice.
He's like, "Oh, David." I'm like, "Yeah, okay."
Maybe she's expecting a different David now.
You know, David, John's friend.
Oh, yeah, I have a John friend.
Yeah, that's right. Everybody knows a John.
I'm looking forward to this every Friday.
Oh yeah.
Hello. Interesting. This is gonna be fun. You guys are fun. A fun group. Hopefully we're not duds either. Also, let's bring one thing up. How awesome is Matt's accent?
Good.
And
Nice.
are you jealous of it? Because I am every
Oh.
single day of my life.
I'll be honest with you. I did not know I had one. You guys talk so weird. I didn't want to say anything.
No, you don't talk weird. It's just I like it. The twang.
Sandra, this is David. I'm a local real estate agent here in your area. I seen that your property was listed a year ago, and it looks like it might have not sold. I'm not sure exactly what the situation is, but I do have somebody that's looking in that specific area. I did a little digging. Looks like it'll work for them. If you're so interested, I don't mind figuring out, see if it'll work for yourself and for my buyer. Let's have a quick conversation. Doesn't hurt. 805-947-6370. 805
Hi, Mr. Gather. My name is Matt. I'm a real estate agent with Keller Williams Realty. How are you this morning? So the reason I'm calling is we just listed a client of ours. Her name is Kim Thomas. She lives at 2710 Hinkles Ferry. We just listed her property here in Texana Plantation for sale. And the reason we're calling the neighbors is just to find out if they know of anyone who is interested or thinking about moving into the neighborhood or into the area. Oh, well, I apologize. And do you currently not live in Texana Plantation? Ah, wow. Okay. All right. Well, you're right. I do have wrong information, and I apologize for the bother. Thank you for your time, sir.
Hey, Kelvin. How are you?
Matt, you doing any research on the property as you're on the call or anything? If you're calling FSBOs or expired or anything, I like to go through PropStream and just kind of get a little more loan details or their current situation details.
We don't. No, we didn't do any 3D tours of the property. But if you'd like, where are you at? Are you in Heber?
Can we do this tour as
Oh,
well?
in Markfork. Okay.
Gentlemen, it was nice to meet you guys. Thank you for the opportunity. We'll see y'all later.
Thanks, Matt. Take care. Appreciate you.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it's not. It has an HOA. I mean, there's
It's just
pretty nice homes surrounding it. No, nope, not gated. It doesn't have a. No, it doesn't have a security system. Nope. Yeah, you have to put all that in. Hey, that's a good thing. Rather than ask questions than say no, thank you. I love it.
what's up with our list, man? Pull another list. Get me some live calls.
Yeah, do. I
2 p.m. Papuema.
and you're gonna see that there are quite a few homes that are really nice throughout there. Okay. If you could just do it through showing time, that would be great. just so we have record of it. And yeah, just on the front door. Love it. Okay. That sounds great. When you're out there, let me know if you have any questions. I did not. No, I just called it. It had expired off the market, and I called the owner and talked to him. I'll follow up with them right now.
Was it property didn't sell for?
Oh, so they're not going to get it there.
Are you still interested in selling, or what was your motivation back then to actually selling your property?
No, it's only on an acre.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, he's
Santa Margarita to San Bernardino. Well, you're in San Bernardino County, right? No. Oh no. Rancho's up north.
He has it. He has privacy there. A lot of it.
Okay.
Perfect.
Well, I love helping people that weren't able to previously sell their property, give it another go, and hope that we can.
Sounds great. Hey, thank you so much. Thanks, Kevin.
Is it different motivation right now? It's the same motivation, or what's? Okay, I get it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to take too much of your time, but would you at least be interested in maybe seeing if I can get you a cash offer? I have a lot of investors in that area. Might be able to get you a cash offer and get it sold fairly quickly. Since it is an investment property, it's vacant. How many acres is it? Oh, it's perfect. I have a few people that are looking for smaller homes on large lots like that. It might work. I'm just saying, Mary, that if you give us the opportunity, I might be able to. I don't know exactly the amount, but I can do some homework, go back with my disposition manager and see what we can possibly get you a cash offer for. It doesn't hurt. I'm gonna do a little homework. Let me tell you that I'm gonna do a little homework on your property. I'm gonna talk to a couple of my investors and just come up with some preliminary numbers and just see what you think. No commitment, nothing. It doesn't hurt. Not at all. Okay. All right. Why don't I just follow up with you next week before the holiday? Then we'll go from there. Sound good? Awesome. Just in case I don't talk to you next week, you have happy holidays, happy New Year. I'm going to try to get a hold of you maybe Monday, Tuesday, and then we can have another quick conversation if that's okay with you. Thank you so much. Okay, Mary. I appreciate you not hanging up on me. Thanks. Bye-bye. She was like, nope.
Love it, David.
She was like, nope. Yes.
Hello, Richard. Hi, Richard. This is Kent over at Summit Realty. How are you today? Good. I'm glad to hear it. Hey, really quick, I was reaching out. I have a client that's looking to move into the Creekside community, Diane Church, and there's nothing for sale there right now. So I was calling the neighbors to see if you folks have ever thought about selling or may know of anybody in the community that is. Not at this moment. Okay. Well, I can appreciate that. Have you given any consideration to maybe selling your home? Happy where you're at? Okay. I can appreciate that. Is this a good number to send a text message to? Can I send you my business card if you do run it into anybody that may be thinking about selling?
That you had listed earlier.
You could have my contact information to contact me directly.
I thrive in helping people that didn't sell their property.
Perfect. Richard, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me today. I really do appreciate it.
and over with. Call me back when you
Have
have
a wonderful day. Bye.
947-6370, 805-947-6370. Would love to have a quick conversation with you and just kind of see where you're at with it. Thanks. Why is it freezing? No.
You know what is crazy? I was calling expireds this morning, and very few of them were mad.
Really?
Set 2 appointments, and that just tells me there's not a lot of people calling right now. They're already on winter vacation.
They're already hibernating.
They already are. Yeah. I love it. Back to your point, though, right now is what you do right now is setting up next year's business and what it's going to look like.
For sure.
So one line that I like to use, David,
Yeah.
and you kind of used it, but a little bit.
Yeah.
Again, you handle with logic. So you ask them a logical question. So with that lady that didn't want to meet, you just say, honestly, if I came out and nothing I said made sense and you didn't feel confident that we could get you what you want,
Yep.
you don't have to hire me or sign any paperwork, do you?
That'll work.
But if I can get you what you want, it'd be worth us getting together for 15 minutes. And I love how you set the call back for the logical next step.
I was just trying
really
to
good.
a lot of callback. I was just putting in her head that, hey, I'm calling you.
Yeah,
Oh.
you're calling her back. I think that's awesome.
She didn't yell at me though, so that's okay.
Yeah, that's always a plus when they don't do that. It is funny though. Rarely will people expired sometimes yell at you on the phone, but more often than not, they don't. It's just when they do, it stings a lot worse.
I had one that told me maybe about a year ago, what makes you better than whoever the agent was, right? What makes you think that you're better than so and so and you can sell it? And that agent was actually a pretty well-known top agent in our area. I'm like, I was kind of tongue twisted for a second. I said, I'm not saying that I'm any better. I'm just saying that I can probably get your household.
So what the agent, was it the listing agent? That's what she was asking, or the other agents that were calling her?
The listing agent. So she was asking me, if so-and-so couldn't sell it, what makes you think you're any better?
So I love that. I love it when they give that to me. So this is how I usually respond to that. I'm not sure what your last agent did. Obviously, it didn't work. So it would make sense for us to get together if you still have a need to sell, to at least give you a second opinion. And if I don't do anything differently than your last agent, would you ever hire me, David?
Get out of here, Kent.
Get out of here.
Fire.
No.
Yeah, so my approach, I was a little like, at that point, I didn't have a rebuttal for that objection, right? I was like, well, and just because they said the name, and I was kind of like, wow, that's a pretty good agent that I know they're pretty good.
So you got in your head a little bit. You're like, oh, crap.
They are pretty good. So I was like, well, I'm not saying I'm any better than anybody else. I'm just saying that I could probably get your household, or let me give it a go. I think I can get your household because I have I do have a few people in your area. Your price range didn't look like it was too far off. And I did preview the property previously, and I think it's going to work for this current buyer that I have. So let me see if I can get it sold for you. No commitment.
I like that. See, and that's really smart of you, because you've built up that investor database that you can go in with that other option. Like I look at Open Door, how many houses did they buy and sell over the last few years?
Yeah.
I mean, was it profitable? No. But you're not taking on that financial risk. Your investors are.
Yeah.
So just have them throw their, because again, some people just want it easy. They don't want the hassle of people walking through their home. They just want an offer and be done with it.
Yeah, I've had several transactions that was exactly the case, and properties that I'm getting, our investors are getting good deals on, very good deals on, and the seller just they weren't interested in doing the whole thing. And it was funny because actually they were a real estate agent. They were in a different state, and they had 2 properties here, and they just were not even interested in putting it up on the MLS or doing anything. And there was $100,000 on the table at least. So it's just everybody's situation is different. What you just said is completely true. You might think one person is not, gonna sell at a discounted rate or at a good price that you can get an investor in there or whatnot, but you'd be surprised on how many people are not that interested and motivated. I was just telling the story to, I just bought a bunch of new furniture for the house, right? My current furniture was great shape. It's great shape. My wife keeps them up. They were, clean. They were nice. It's just a little bit different style now. Things are changing, right? You're moving away from certain colors and going to other colors and doing certain things. And, I wasn't interested in putting them up for sale, trying to get $1,000, $500, $1,200. It was just like, somebody come get it, right? Avoid me the hassle of the dump fees or avoid the hassle of putting them up for sale and dealing with 20 people calling me. And that's the route that I went, just because my time is more valuable being on these calls with you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and again, you didn't want to deal with the hassle and the haggle of it all. And that is selling a home. It's a lot of hassle, a lot of haggle, but that's the price you pay if you want top dollar price, right?
For sure.
Brad Leah says this, and I love this quote. So we do things 3 ways: cheap, fast, or
good.
Cheap, fast, or good. But you can only have 2 of those things. And I love that.
I use that all the time. And I like saying it in Spanish with my Spanish clients, because I tell them, bueno, bonito, barato. Use 2 of those, and they're like, what? I've been using it for years, and it's something that always hits home, right? It hits home. It's the truth. It really is. It always hits home. It works. It's incredible for buyers. And you can even tell it to sellers. What do you, if you want to sell something at top, at the top of the market, or you want to sell something super expensive, it needs to be these other couple things. If you're gonna not have a beautifully remodeled home with this and this, and you're going to sell it cheaper. It goes both ways. It doesn't matter.
Yep. And that's exactly, and it's just getting people in that mindset of, okay, I can't bottom line price. I can't hire the cheapest agent out there and expect to net the most amount of money.
For sure. Roberto's wanting to.
I don't know how long you guys want to do this. I mean, I'm on all day, but I'm sure your viewers are like, "Holy cow, let's be done with this. Let's get to the good stuff."
No, we're good, but we are going to be jumping off. We appreciate it. I got to also get ready for my 2 p.m. that you guys helped me book and motivated me to. It's about an hour drive. I got to go to Starbucks.
Good luck. Good luck.
If it all works out, you guys just made me like 15 grand.
You're welcome. Hey, no, I am really excited for this. And I think it's just going to get better and better. I love having Matt there, though. Isn't he great?
Yeah, I love you're right with the accent and everything. He's
Yeah, it's high energy. He's good. So, well, thanks for allowing us to do this. Is there anything else that you guys want to go over?
no.
Any objections that you got today?
I think there was a lot of little golden nuggets that we gave the group that we you guys were able to get on a few calls and show. And then with me, it was just I was just excited that it actually made me get on these calls. I don't do them as consistently as I should, right? Because I have a team or I have callers now. But you know, hey, these calls are good. Monkey see, monkey do, technically, right? And same thing with my kids. They don't see me working out, they're not going to work out. They see me eating that junk, they're going to eat the junk. So I want to make sure that they see me as well out here making some calls, staying committed and consistent with you guys. So I appreciate it. Thank you guys for letting us be a part of it.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think to prime the group for next Friday, because this is going to be a weekly occurrence,
right,
is come with questions. Put questions in the comments from this video or next week. Join in. Any objections that you're getting, any closes that you want to go over. I think that's what I'm really skilled in, is objections and closes.
Awesome.
So all scripts kind of do the same thing, right? Like we saw you, David, your script is much different than my script, but I wouldn't say that it's any less effective, other than you have to buy coffee and drive an hour and a half.
I drink coffee like 3 times a day now because of this guy here. And it just works. I'm good.
I love it. Okay, well, we'll see y'all next Friday then.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guy.
See ya.
Okay. Bye.